Hello everyone, it's Amy and welcome back for Journaling on a Budget. This week we are going to finish off this page here. And the one thing is from last week, excuse me, I had said that I was going to put this little library pocket right here, and then I forgot about it because I set it aside. But in looking at it, it is cute. It's a little bit bright, and then without it, we've got the nice journaling page. It doesn't this makes everything just quite busy. This makes it not quite as busy, really draws attention to the really pretty tags there, and gives much more writing space. Plus the fact of you have to be careful depending on how fat you want your book to be. So we're not going to put this there. We may use it somewhere else, but I'm not going to put that there. But just in case you were wondering last week and said, hey, what happened to that? I found it after I turned the video off. So this week, I decided that we have this little paper bag that we made, and we made this out of a lunch sack, but we made it into a little pointy bottom bag. And so we're going to use this on this page, but that was too plain. So I went to my scrapbooking papers, and I just grabbed out some that, because we have brown on this side, and we have, we're going to have pink on this side. I just grabbed some that I thought, had pink and brown and would look nice. So what I did was I just left my little bag sitting here, and then I just kind of put them in and thought, how does this look? Now this one doesn't look too bad. The pink is a little bit light in the background, and the other thing is I have a hard time with stripes getting them straight. So I set that one aside as a maybe. And then I did this one, and when I put that one in there, I just thought, that's really, really got a lot of that really dark reddish pink. So I really didn't like that one. This one looked okay, but it was just so plain. So I decided against that one. I thought I might like this one because of the pattern on the edges. But then when I set it in here, I got to thinking when I cut it, there will be no pattern across the top and no pattern across the side. And would I like that? Probably not. Even if I flipped it around, then I would have no pattern here and no pattern across the bottom. I just didn't think I'd like that, so I put that one aside. I tried this one. It's got the pink and it's got little brown flowers on there, but I thought that was just too bright to go with the brown next to it. And again, this one I thought was just a little bit too bright. So, you just take what you have and audition them. I thought that this one might look nice, but when you put it in there, the thing is that the pictures that are on here are going to be covered up. So really that's kind of a waste of that piece of paper that could be used for something where you want that picture to show up. This one I thought was just way too busy. And so I settled down to two. This one, which I thought was very pretty. It goes nice with the darker side. It goes nice with the pink, and I thought that was quite pretty. And so I thought that was good, and then I tried this one. And with this one, I thought the pink goes with the pink, the yellow goes with the brown, and I thought that, and actually I think I wanted it a little bit more yellow. And you have to kind of remember that, your pages are going to be cut off. But I thought that this brightened it up a lot, and this page is very dark, so I thought that might just be the perfect thing to use for this. Now, I have scored this for some reason at some point in time, and I thought, but you know what? That doesn't hurt a thing. So I am going to cut this to fit on this page, and I'm going to cut it so that it fits pretty exact, because I don't really want the white edge. Although if I cut it in a little bit, I could go around the edges with some pink or some brown. Maybe I'll do that. No, I'm going to cut it to be pretty close. And then if I wind up just a little bit too big, I can trim off the edges later. So I'm going to cut it right here for the top. And then I'm going to cut it right here for the edges. And I'm just lining it up with my page and putting a mark. That way I don't have to, that way I don't have to measure it. So I'm going to give it a rough cut because I have my small trimmer here. I have my my small trimmer here. I really do. Let me set this aside for a second. And remember, when it comes to scrapbooking paper, you know, when I first started, I really didn't have any scrapbooking paper at all 4 or 5 years ago. And now I have a ton. But the thing is that when you go to buy scrapbooking paper, remember a few things so that you don't wind up with a ton that a lot of it you may not use. When you go to buy a pad of paper, look at all of the papers in that pad, because if you fall in love with the couple that are on the front cover and think, oh, this is beautiful, but you really don't like anything else, you're really going to waste your money, because you just bought a whole pad of paper that you're only going to use a few sheets of. I'm going to try it before I glue it in. I like the way that looks all the way around, so I'm going to glue that down. So, but just remember that if you buy a pad, make sure that you like most of what's in there. Now, you're not going to necessarily like all of it, and if there's a few that you don't like, you can rip those up and use them in collage, and you know, you may find that some of them in collage are your favorite pieces. And I got almost all of my paper through D-Stashes. I have bought 2 pads of paper at a craft store. My very first ever paper buy was like a 200 sheet pad from Michaels, and I really did love all the papers. They came kind of in color families, which was great for me because I am not real good at matching colors. And they were very distressed and not super bright. So they were just perfect for me. And I bought that pad, and I still use it to this day because at 200 and some pieces, it's going to last me forever. So just remember that if you're buying a pad, that you really want to make sure that it's something you like, at least most of it. Slide this down a little bit. And then the other thing is that, you know, like I said, I bought most of mine in D-Stashes. People that have bought stuff that they didn't like it. And so they wound up selling a whole bunch of their paper in a D-Stash so that they could get it out of their craft room. But it was great for me because I was just starting, and they were selling it very cheap. But if you find a pad that you only love a couple of the pages and you're going to pay $20 for that pad, you could go to the individual pads and buy 20 separate pieces of paper for $20, or, well, I don't really know exactly how much they are now, but you know, but you could buy quite a few individual pages that you like each one, before you hit the price of that paper pad. So, and look at D-Stashes or friends that may be getting rid of some of their paper or something because, you know, they've gone through their paper, they have too much, and they're getting rid of the ones that they don't like. And those may be some that you do like, or just a nice amount to just build up your stash. So, you know, so don't go too hog wild, or you could wind up with just too much paper. And it's just so easy to wind up with too much of anything when you're crafting. And you don't have to have it all. I'm going to put this right in the middle. And then, am I going to edge these pages at all? Do I want to edge them in the pink? No, I've got so much pink on here, I don't think I'm going to. I think that would just really draw away from what I've got going on here. So I'm going to glue this on. Excuse me. And then I think what we're going to need is, I think we're going to need a word on here. And so we're going to do that today too. You can buy words, and you can buy the cute little Tim Holtz words, and you know, a lot of the different companies have the little words that come on a sticker sheet. And those are nice to have if you get them, you know, if you can get them on clearance or cheap. But you can make your own words so easily. And we've done this in our Build Your Stash series a long time ago. We did, we bought a word search book. And we used that to make ransom letters. And we used that to make, you know, to pick words out of it. And today we're going to do it with magazines. So you can make your own words so easily. and there'll be words that you like. You know, you won't have a whole bunch that you've bought that, well, I love these words, but I won't use those words. That's the thing about doing your own thing, making your own words, making your own papers. You're going to wind up making something that you like. I'm going to put this just a little bit off the bottom of the page. And try and center it. There we go. And so, you know, just remember, and if the biggest thing is too, so you can't afford it right now, but you think you might want to buy it later, you save up for it. But for right now, then, you do what you can do to get that product all on your own without having to go buy it until you've saved up enough money to go buy it. So there we go. Now we've got our little bag here that we can put things in. And we need a word across the top and maybe a butterfly. But let's find the word first so that we'll know what size butterfly to put in there. I'm going to set this aside for just a second. And then I saw Tina from Shabby Dabby Doodah. She was making words here just a little while ago. And it was like, oh, I haven't done that in such a long time. And I love to do that. So here are some that I just cut. These are all out of magazines. Then down here, I have some that are out of book pages. And then here where it says hope, that's what I call ransom letters. Ransom letters are, you know, way back in the day when they used to send ransom letters, and they would cut the letters out of newspaper or magazine or whatever to make their ransom letters so nobody could check their writing. But those are really fun to do too. And it's really fun because you can use different, you know, you can use uppercase and lowercase throughout the whole thing, different colors, different fonts, and it makes them very fun. So, and I do mine like this, and then I leave them on my paper, and eventually I just have this hodgepodge of little, you know, things that are just cut here and there. But I leave them on my paper because for me it's easier to look at them. Even when they start getting bunches of spots cut out, it's easier for me to look at a sheet than it is to try and go through all these little tiny pieces of paper. Excuse me, a little bit of a cold today. So that's what we'll do, is you just take a magazine or a book that you read, you know, that you've cut up for your crafting, and then you just look through it and you find words that you like. Like here it says fresh. That's really cute. And then you have to think, what's behind it? Am I going to like what's behind it? Because that makes a difference too. If you're not sure, cut it out and see. And then, like, here's one that says home. And now this is very thick. It doesn't even have to be backed on anything because this is the cover and it's very, very thick. So you just go through. This one says Creative Studio. That's kind of cute. And that would be cute. Even just creative would be nice. Here it says create. Oh, I don't know if you even saw that. There it says creative. And here it says create. And here it says creative again, or creative living. So, you know, there's all sorts of things. That love right there is really cute. And that's the thing. You have to say, I don't need the whole thing. I'm just going to take this word or that word. Quality is really cute. I like that too. And you'll want some big words and some little words because you want things that are going to fit your project when the time comes. So, and you never know what you're going to need. I really like this dream. It's a little bit big, but I want to see if that will fit up above our bag because I really like that. And I like the colors. The coloring in it is, let's see, where are we? We're at the, right here. Okay, is that going to be, it may not be. And then you can cut them perfectly straight if you want to. This one with the font being cursive and being so flowy, with these ones, I like to do it like this. And just, you know, just make little, kind of make it like a cloud. But see, even living. And then you can also cut out words like the and a and when. And then you can use it to make little sentences in your books, you know. And that's really fun too. You know, they have the little magnets that you stick on your fridge and everybody comes over and, you know, they go through and they pick out words and they make funny little sayings. Well, if you cut out different words and, you know, cut out the, I was never good at English, so, you know, I don't know, you know, adjective, pronouns, all that kind of stuff. Don't ask me. But if you cut out the little extra words like a and the and when and how, and just glue those to your paper. You may want to put a funny little sentence on your paper. And so, is it too big? I don't think so. I really like it, and I think it goes very nicely with this page. I think the coloring is perfect. And that's the thing, you don't need white, you know, like the classic is in blue. But on a blue page or a page that has blue accents, that would be really cute. Sometimes you think, oh, well, you know, I just want like just bland backgrounds. You don't necessarily want that. You know, do all sorts of things. And this is another good project when you're just sitting down in the evening to just grab a magazine and put it on your lap and just start cutting out words. Have your paper right there, have your glue stick right there, and just cut it out and glue it down. You know, don't worry if they're all exactly in line or anything. You're going to cut them out anyways. So just leave space between them. So if you decide that you want to, you can cut right next to it, or you can cut around it to leave a bit of a border. And this one I just did on a piece of scrap paper, but this scrap paper has got some lines on it from when I was doing some stamping. And I think that they're kind of cute on there. But if I don't like it when I cut it out and I can see those lines, I glued my top on, you know, then I can just cut right next to what I've already cut out. And you won't even see the backing paper, but it will make it a little thicker. Now, because I know exactly where I'm going to put this right now, I don't need to put it on a backing paper. I'm going to put it right in my book. So, and if you have a page and you're thinking, it needs something, I don't know what it needs. Oh, I'd like to put a word on there, but I don't have any. Just go to your magazines and find just the right one. So let's grab this back up here. Make sure it's where I want it before I let go. There we go. And then if you like to do the drawing around them, you can do that. With this, I love the way that this blends in. I don't want to do any black around it or anything. I want to leave it just like it is, but you can doodle around it. You can doodle on it. You can do whatever you would like to do. And there we go. I love the way that that looks. And then I think it does need a little butterfly if I have a little one. Let's see if we have a small pink one. Let's see, the butterflies are on the bottom. Ooh, there's a little pink one. It's kind of cute. It's a little bit big. Maybe that one. Let's leave that one out for a second and see if I have anything else in here. That one's got greens in it. There's no greens over there at all. No, I don't like that one. And I don't want a bird. I definitely want a butterfly. Oh, I think I like that one better than this one, for sure. Orange would be okay, too. I'll leave that out so that we can actually see it with the page once I move the box. Don't want green. I think that's probably all the different colors that I have. Okay. And I got these butterflies at the Dollar Tree. And you can, you know, like look for free clip art, you know, that is allowed to copy and use. And you can do that. Okay, so we've got the orange one, which there's orange in here, so that looks kind of nice. And then we've got this one. And I'm going a little bit over my word. That's okay, because you can tell what that says. It's covering the M up a little bit, but that's totally fine. Then we've got this cute little one. And he's got the dark wings, doesn't take up quite so much space. I'm going to use this one, and this was one that I cut out of a magazine. So you don't have to have purchased butterflies. You can get them in lots of different places. And like I said, I got my cardboard ones, or the cardstock ones, at the dollar store. And they just happen to have them. So you just keep your eyes open at the cheap stores. I keep my eyes open at the cheap stores, And I don't go into the expensive stores very often at all. Because if I do, I see something I like. And I don't want to pay that price. So I just don't put myself in the situation to find something I like and have to tell myself no. If I don't go in there, then I don't have to worry about it. They all looked pretty, but I do like the size of this one the best. And so there we go. Remove these butterflies. Throw them back in the box. Don't put the lid on that and glue it back on again. I have 2 of them open. And there we go. There is our spread for today. And I think that turned out really pretty. I like that. And I do believe that finishes the whole first section. Maybe not, but let's see. On the first page, we have our little Roman shade. And I like the paper under that. I don't think I'm going to cover it. And then here we have some tags with some collage and napkin. We have a flip out over here. And then here we have this nice journaling card with our corner stamps. We've got our fun little game pieces. We have a writing space. I wasn't sure if that was a pocket. We have this pretty book page. And we have our corners on this page. Here we have a little pocket here, a little envelope here with a little piece of paper in there that can be journaled on. Some more writing space. We have a couple of journaling cards over here with our own stamps and eco-dried paper. So, and then we've got what we did last week with our, I think that turned out cute. I really wasn't sure about that. You know, the color of the paper I chose to do this on, I was not necessarily happy with. Excuse me. But I am very, very happy with the way that it turned out. I think it looks very cute. So, and then we just have a nice spot here. You don't have to cover every page. This page to me is very pretty. It does have the edging on it. A picture could be glued there. Writing could be written there. Or you could just leave it for the color because it's pretty. Here we have a pocket with our eco-dried paper. And then we have some painty paper there with some more cute cards. We've got our line stamps. We've got our tag here. And I think that I'm going to glue. This keeps like going all over the place. So I want it to be, let's say, right about there, so that it doesn't keep falling all over. I kind of want it to stop there. So what I'm going to do, I've got these lines on my words right here. I'm going to glue that down right there at the bottom line. I'm going to put a little bit of glue so that my, sorry about that, daughter called. So I was saying I was going to put a little bit of glue so that my tag didn't go down so far and wasn't so loose. So while I was talking to her, I did put just a little bit of glue right here. I put a piece of parchment paper over my ruler and stuck that in there so that it would stay right there, and I got a little extra glue up on the top part there so that it could dry while that was happening. And I got to thinking, this tag is just so plain. I wanted to put a pull tab on it. So I just took a piece of our paper and just cut it out, rounded the corners, distressed the edges. And then I want to put that on there like that. And I thought, it's a little bit bright. So this side I thought was better. And, but it's a little bright for this paper. So then I thought, well, we have this lace here. What if we took that lace and just put that in the middle of our tab like this, and then that kind of just tones it down just a little bit, ties it in with that page, ties it in with this page, and I like the way that looks. So that's the way that I'm going to do it. I'm going to let the tab stick up just a little bit so it'll stick maybe just a touch out of the book. I don't want it to stick out too far. Put it in the middle. Make sure I have my lace where I want it. And there we go. That's where I'm going to want it. So now what I'm going to do, let's see how I'm going to hold it. I went ahead and I colored my staples. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I colored the first couple staples pink. And I'm going to staple this on. Get rid of one staple just to make sure that it's working. I'm going to staple this on here, but I'm going to leave this part of the lace not hooked down, and then I will glue it over the staple on the other side so that the back part, the little prongy parts of the staple, aren't on the back side where somebody could catch their finger or something on it. So I'm just going to hold this and just line it up in here. I need to put this on the table. So I have my the tag itself, the paper part of the tag is folded over. Now I just move the whole thing. And just the lace I'm leaving stick up like that. You know, it would help if I just put just a touch of glue on that lace instead of trying to hold the lace. There. Just put a little bit of glue on there and then put the lace on it. That way I'm not trying to hold the lace in the center and even with the bottom. There we go. I'm just going to line this up. Fold over the paper, but not the lace. Oh, and I want to bring it down. I don't want it that high. Okay, so that's where I want it. There we go. Now we have a pretty little pink staple on there. I'll just put a little bit of glue here on the back to cover up those little prongs. And there. I have a couple little straggly bits here, so I'm just going to cut those off. There. There, see, now it looks pretty on the back. You don't see, I don't care for the back side of the staples a lot. If I'm not going to cover them, I color the whole staple, then the back side is covered too. But I think that that looks cute. So we'll go ahead and stick this in here and see if putting that glue on the bottom helps it to stand up better. So yeah, that's, I mean, before it was whenever I did anything, that was just going all over the place, and now it sits in there very nicely. So, and every time I turned to that page, I didn't like the fact that it was doing that. So there we go. Now we have a nice tag in there to draw on. We've got a piece of paper in here that we can write on the back of, and then we can put in there whatever we want to. And I really do like the way that this turned out. So thank you very much for stopping by and watching today. I really do appreciate it, and I hope that you all have an outstanding day. Bye-bye.